¿Qué tal? Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias por venir.
Thank you very much for coming along. Thank you.
When you talk about inspiration and resilience, I mean, I've been following him in LinkedIn and the media for quite a few months. I'm honored to have him here. He accepted the invitation. So he is going to talk about his experience on the right, and you will see why he's. You can see it here. Can you? See it? Mm-hmm. So he's going to talk about his personal experience and also his. I think I'm losing this. His link between the personal adaptation. Okay, so thank you. Leave you with the.
Thank you so much, David. Hi, everyone. My speech is going to be in Spanish. So for those English spoken, sorry, but I've been asked and required to do it in Spanish. Buenos días a todos. Mi nombre es Fernando Vega de Seoane.
Good morning, I'm Fernando Vega de Seoane. It's a great pleasure to be with you all, and the main goal of this time will be to share with you an episode of my life, but it's really our life, because this life affects my team, my friends, my family, and how we've managed the situation and how we have been able to squeeze this all. That in principle, this would be a tragedy. On the 22nd of January, skiing, I had an accident. My back broke, and I've had to use I will have to use a wheelchair forever. 7 months ago. Well, I have 5 children. I'm a businessman. I have a service company. And I was the leader that was really involved in a daily basis. It was a little bit invasive, but I wanted to be a disruptive person, developer, etc. So something that is a stopper in your life, that is to check in, to go under surgery, and to know that you will have to use a wheelchair forever. In our case, I say in our, because Bea was here with me, and she's my loyal mate in every single stage of my life. We have done our best. Be your best. So we will understand this as an opportunity, and this is what I want to share with you all.
So, as part of the evolution and maturity as a father, husband, and manager, I have to say that many times people need to be shaken in order to implement things that we know that we need to do. But we don't do it because of fear, because of lack of self-esteem, because of resistance, because of comfort, or because we have a routine that doesn't allow us to stop and think and see what we really want to do. In my specific case, I'm a really bad listener. I don't listen to people. I mean, I don't do it on purpose, and with my best of intentions, I try to impose what I believe. And that is a very dangerous strength, especially because it doesn't make me better, and it doesn't allow for the others to grow, not just in my family, but also at work. So after the accident, what my family has demonstrated is that my family can live without me, which is something that I thought was impossible. And what my managers and my team at work have demonstrated is that they can be without me. That in fact, my company is better without me being there every day. So really, in the end, what you conclude after the opportunities that life gives you, whether, so it helps you reflect whether you're going down the right or wrong path. First, we learn that we are not a need, that we are not indispensable. And secondly, that people around us have many more abilities and are much more needed than what we think. And this is shown on the bottom line, on the figures in companies. And at home, it shows that when you go back to the house, you are in a place that is incredible, a place that is willing to help you and lift you. And especially me, myself, who needed that emotional and physical support. So in the end, you end up thinking, what a pity that these kind of things have to happen. This accident had to happen to me in order to be able to evolve and mature as a person, a friend, or a boss. What I'm trying to say here is that one of the most important lessons that Bea and myself drew from our experience in terms of change of mobility and change of physical condition is that many times things happen without us being able to do anything about them. And we have two options. We can either choose to look at the bright side of things, or we could try to look at the dark side. In this case, the wheelchair has come because it had to come. And what we have done, we have chosen to give an opportunity to this new reality so that it shows us what's in the background. I find it very difficult, obviously. Every day I have to remind myself that I am on a wheelchair. And this is the toxic effect of our daily thoughts. But also, we have to be able to leave aside those negative thoughts. You're on a wheelchair, what a bad luck. And think about how, for instance, at home the children are maturing in a different way, in a more independent way, how the managers are able at work to promote the company. And probably they're doing things that if I had been there, they wouldn't have done. And suddenly they've been able to use their talents, their abilities, their skills. And the bottom line of the company is that it's doing better. And in this sense, I also want to make you more human, because people are surprised about how, in appearance, we're dealing with things, managing this new situation. We may think that it's really difficult to get back from a situation such as this. Even myself, on the 21st of January, I would have said, if tomorrow I was in a wheelchair, I will stop there because I won't be able to manage the situation. And then you realize that when things happen, you become more capable. Sometimes we feel less able than what we really are. So I encourage those of you who think they can't to think that they can. I am sure you do not know your real capabilities, and put your capabilities into practice. I would also like to say that as part of this, in principle, drama, it is also true that I have my own, I owe it to myself because of my attitude. So I've managed to overcome it like this, thanks to myself, but also thanks to the people around me. My family are aligned in terms of help, support, helping you out when you are feeling down. I have friends that want to help me and are there. And then I have a team at work. They're not only worried about the business, but they're also worried about me. So obviously this ecosystem helps us be positive and active mentally. It's also true that the accident, which is a very traumatic accident in terms of the injury that it caused, I've had a very good recovery. I've been very lucky. I haven't had any complications because they tend to happen. And that meant that my return to normality has been possible. This new normality, this new normal, is very close to my old normal. I used to be, I spent many hours alone at home because with Omicron, the Omicron variant, people couldn't come to see me. And I concluded, after all those hours of thought, that my life hadn't changed so much. I would wake up in the morning, I would go in the car, sitting, obviously. I would go to the office, I would sit in my chair, and then I would go back to the restaurant, I would sit, I would be home, and I would be sitting, I would be back to the car, back to the bed, back to the... So I spent my whole life sitting. Well, now it's the same. So it's not like my life has changed so dramatically in terms of how my daily life happens. It's true, I used to take 1.5 seconds to get in the car, and it takes me 35 seconds to get in the car. But the difference is not so much. It is a pain. Obviously, it is a pain. But It's much worse what is in our grey matter and our concepts, our prejudgments about limitations. Yes, it is a limitation, but I have no reason to feel less or to do less than I used to. So in that sense, things appearance sometimes doesn't really portray what we feel. And I would also like to share with you something very important in the recovery, not just in my recovery, but it's to talk about how important it is to forgive. When I was in Toledo is a hospital for people. I don't know if you don't know Toledo's hospital. It's a hospital that's specialized on bone marrow lesions. It was built 50 years ago when there were so many road traffic accidents, and they decided to create a specific center for the recovery from lesions such as mine. And when I got to Toledo, I found a sad environment and an action protocol that is really well thought of, really well structured, and it has 50 years of legacy, obviously. And they talk about the psychological and emotional aspect, the physical aspect, and they also show you how to return to normal life, or as normal as possible. Because in the past, to get a dress was very easy, and for me now it's an adventure. Not so much now, but when the first time I had to get dressed, you can't even imagine what a show. So those three areas are perfectly structured and covered. But when I went to see the psychologist, he said, well, Fernando, how are you feeling? And I said, I'm really good. No, you can't be really good. No, really, I'm really good. I was operated 12 days ago. I'm here now in Toledo. I'm really enthusiastic. Enthusiastic? Yeah. I'm enthusiastic for getting on the chair to learn doing tricks and go up pavements. Because, I mean, I live in Madrid, and so this attitude of, it's not acceptance, I wouldn't say it's acceptance, I kind of understood this is here to stay. I had 5 seconds to become a victim, and then I thought, okay, I'm going to have to be the best version of myself. So I have to have rehabilitation and go out to the streets. So when you talk about enthusiasm, about desire, about progressing, it's very disruptive in Toledo, but also in life itself. Because what we have seen and what I've seen when I look back at my life, I, myself, used to be my own worst enemy. I thought I was very optimistic. But when I look back, I think I was such a drama king. And so I would like to share with you that things come for a purpose. Many things we have no impact on. So if you have no impact on something, do not devote time to it, because they're going to happen whether you want it or not. And it can help us be in a better position to solve the things that we can solve, that we have to solve, and that will make us move forward. It's great to be with all of you. They told me that I have to give you the opportunity to ask me questions. So I want to stick to my time. I could be here talking all day. It's great being here. David, I don't know if you want people to ask me questions now. We'll wait for the other speakers, and then we'll ask questions to the three of you. That's okay? Okay, a big round of applause, please.
If this is not resilience, tell me what it is, please. He didn't mention, but he played a golf tournament that I know. A couple of weeks ago, he was pushing, and I think he's the person that he played it with a shorter period after the accident. So that's amazing. As I said, if this is not resilience, please tell me what's resilience.